Hi everybody, this is Brent. If you remember a couple of months ago, I was in the process of replacing my GPS. My old Zumo 660 was awesome, but clearly took a few tumbles when I went down back roads. The GPS wouldn't talk to me anymore, and for that matter, it wouldn't talk to my computer either. So it was COVID. I did a whole lot of research, and I came up with the Garmin 590. For a number of reasons, I liked it. I posted that review earlier. You can check it out in the forum if you're interested, but for today's purposes, we're going to talk about the Garmin 590. There's a couple of ways we all know how to program a GPS. You can use your physical computer, which you can't lug around. You can take your laptop, which you don't always take on trips with you, and that's my work laptop. I don't even want to look at that thing right now. So what about if we wanted to do something when we're out on the road? What if you're in a hotel, you're on a long trip, and you want to program something on the fly, and you don't have a computer with you? A lot of us do carry an iPad. And thanks to the new iPad operating software, we can now program a GPS using an iPad and upload the GPX file using a program that is much easier to use than Basecamp. So today, that's what our lesson is going to be. Here's what you need. First of all, you need your GPS. So today we're going to use the Garmin 590 because that's the one I chose, and we'll connect it. My cables, I always color code my cables because I have boxes of cables and I need to find things quickly and I never seem to be able to. This one is color coded yellow to work with me. Then you need a connection. How in the world are we going to connect our GPS to our iPad? Well, iPad now has a ton of different dongles, they call them. You can do simple things like, since they did away with the headphone jack, I have old school headphones, so I got a dongle to make them work. There's also a dongle if I want to connect any iPad to my computer or to my TV with an HDMI. There's also USB connectors, which are great if you want to do external storage. There's even a simple one, which is just USB, straight to your iPad. So in this case, we're just going to use that one. I could also use the wider one as well. It's more expensive. This is $25 in the Apple Store. We're going to plug it into the iPad, and you can do this with any iPad. So you can do it with the older, smaller models iPads. What I've done is I've actually replaced my entire home computer with the iPad Pro. That's another topic altogether, but I wanted to switch things around because I find this much easier to use. So we've got our Garmin connected there, and our Garmin has already shown up because something pops up on the screen like that when it connects. So now let's sit down and take a look. Complaints people have. Sure, it's great to use notes when you're out on the road, but occasionally you're caught at night, you can't read your notes, or you're in a hotel room on a long trip and you want to get creative on the route for the next day. There's no Garmin Basecamp for iPad. In fact, there is Garmin programs like Garmin Connect and things like that, but none of them will get a GPX file over to a GPS. I went through the App Store, I looked at probably 8 to 10 different pieces of software, tried every single one, and there is one. I found one, and it's called En Route Route Planner. So again, it's called En Route Route Planner, and you can plan and navigate hands-free navigation, and you can also export it to another drive. Now, we can export it normally to the iPad, but thanks to the new operating system that was released earlier this year, you can also now send it to your GPS, because the new iPad operating system has a folder called Files. You'll see it right down here. When I click on it, it shows all the various different ways you can save things. So I can go to my iCloud directly, save right on the iPad, save to Google Drive directly, OneDrive, which is where all my work things are stored, and notice my Garmin is connected now as well. You can actually save directly to it. You can also drag and drop, which is really great. So let's watch how this works. We'll go back out of this, and we'll open up our program right down here on the bottom, and it's called En Route. There's your map. Very straightforward. You can pinch and roll just like you can with Google Maps, and everything works fine. But here's where the difference is. Let's go into Kingston today and drive around. We'll zoom ourselves right in. We'll just do a simple route in and around Kingston. And today we're going to start right here. Click my finger and hold. Notice a pin just dropped right over my shoulder and dropped on there. It has 3 options: start, waypoint, and destination. Well, this one is clearly our start, so I'm going to click start, and there you go. That's our start point. So I'll zoom back out again. Notice it doesn't trigger anything. Nothing else shows up on the map. When you move with your finger, it doesn't accidentally drop other waypoints. I like to put a waypoint at every corner, so it gives me a heads up visually on the screen. Being ADD, I get distracted sometimes, and I don't notice when I'm supposed to turn. So I'm just going to drop another one there. But this time, it's not the start point, and it's not my destination, so I'm going to choose waypoint. Okay, great. It's not drawing any lines yet. Don't panic. It's going to do everything for you. Then we're going to drive around. Let's get creative and see if it can find its way over here. So I'm going to then post my next point. I could do corner by corner if I want to, which you could for a long motorcycle trip. You can drag it through the Richmond twisties any which way you want, quite quickly and easily. This will make one more waypoint, so I'll just choose this as a waypoint as well. Again, not drawing any lines yet, but it's showing you the different waypoints you've got listed. On our last spot, we're just going to click the screen and drag over here, and we'll say we want to end up right here. There's our last pin. This time we'll call it our destination. Watch what happens. I say destination, and instantly it has programmed the route. It's taken us exactly where we want it to go. shows the points if you want points for corners, etc., and you're done. Down here on the bottom, the interface is very straightforward and easy. Across the bottom, we want the simple 3 dots in the middle. Click on it. What do we want to do? We want to share it. So we'll share it, and we're going to choose that right here. We want to export the GPX file. And where do we want to send it? It will give you options. So if you have friends you want to email it to, you can also add it to cloud storage sites. You can even send it through Messenger, you name it, whatever you want to do with it. In this case, I want to save it to files because that's where my GPS is. And watch, it automatically opens the Garmin. It knows it's a GPX, so it goes right to the GPX folder. At the top, it's already given it a name, which you can change right here, or you can change it in your GPS, which is great if you've got those tiny little keys that drive you nuts on your GPS. And then up at the top here, we'll click Save. It's now gone. It's done. It is now on the GPS. So we don't have to keep anything in this storage here. We could have saved it also to our iPad storage or to our cloud drive, so we have it. And then we just click these 3 dots here and say we want to remove the current route that's on the screen. And, well, there we go. Remove, and then remove, and it's gone. We can start again whenever we want. Now, the great thing is, if you've ever programmed a GPS before, then you know that what will happen now is we turn it on, and immediately as we turn it on, the GPS will show us that there's a route that has been uploaded to it. Okay, so we'll turn it on. Keep in mind that what's great now is a lot of different GPSs, you can Bluetooth to another GPS. So you could do a daisy chain and pass it off to any number of different people. So once this logs up or opens up, it's going to ask us if we'll be good on the road and not play with it. Of course we will. And the first thing it tells me is, hey, did you notice, Brent, that you've got a route here you just uploaded? Yep, I did. And there it is right there. Just click it, import it, and it's now in the trip planner right there on your GPS. So on this GPS, it shows up under trip planner. Okay, and you can see it sitting right there with all the other routes. Okay, on your GPS, it probably will show under trips is where it will come, but it automatically moves in. So again, GPS connected to the iPad. The software we use is in the App Store, and it is called En Route Route Planner. And you just need a dongle from the Apple Store, which costs $25, and that dongle will connect any USB device to your iPad. And you can get a dongle for any different type of iPad, the old style iPads, right back to the wide connectors as well. So make sure you ride safe and try something new.